All right, my name is Nate Armstrong, and this is my senior project. It's a time clock app called Caret. I work for CustomBit, which is a mobile and web development shop here in town. They do consulting work, and one of the hardest things about it, about my job, is keeping track of how much time I spend on different projects because I bounce between different projects all the time, and it's very important that we keep track of the time that we spend on stuff so that we can bill appropriately and that we're not billing more time and we're not billing for more time than we spend on stuff and also the opposite. So this is an app to help me better keep track of the time that I spend on different projects. So the meat of it is that I want it to when remind me to clock in when I get to work and remind me to clock out when I leave work. So to demonstrate that, I'm using the iOS simulator, and the iOS simulator doesn't actually use location. So you have to you can tell it what location to use, and so I have told it to simulate moving from the Googleplex to the Apple corporate office in Cupertino. So this simulator is simulating this location change. So with that in mind, I've also created, part of my app is that you can create geofenced reminders. So I've set up a reminder that when I arrive at Google, that it should remind me to clock in, and when I leave Google, remind me to clock out. So theoretically, I work at Google, and I want it to remind me to clock in when I get there and clock out when I leave. So what that looked like was you click Add to add a reminder, and then you click the place, or you choose the place on the map that you want to be reminded, and then you can have it remind you to clock in when you arrive, or clock out when you arrive, or any variation, any combination of these. I won't do this on the simulator because it's really hard to get this zooming thing to work. So I've already added this one using that same form, and I will demonstrate that that works. I don't have the notification. The notifications don't go off when the app is in use, but if the app is in the background, then it will notify you. So I have my current timer here. So this is the main screen, and I can clock in, and this is the current timer that's running. So I'm not going to clock in using this interface right now. I'm going to first demonstrate the notification. So I just locked the simulator. So this is like if you had locked your phone. So I just got a notification saying, shall we begin? And then I can swipe this way to clock in. So this is the app. That was the app telling me, do I want to clock in? Because I have entered that geo fence and I wasn't clocked in, so it was reminding me to clock in. And I just dismissed the notification, and now I'm gonna wait. I can wait for it to come back because I was moving. So I'll hit shall we begin, and I'll hit clock in now. And if I go to the app, you can see that I am now clocked in. I have the option to clock out, and my timer is running. So that fixes that problem. Now I will be reminded every time I get to work to clock in. And then the rest of it is pretty much basic stuff. I can create entries. So I can select my timer, and I can create an entry based on the running timer. So if this was up to a minute, this would say a minute. We can wait for that to go. I can go to yesterday, I can go to Wednesday, I can pick any date using this, or I can use the calendar to pick another date to edit entries. So I can go to the 30th, and these are the entries that I clocked for the 30th. I can edit these entries, say I want to bump this one up, I can change the project. I was working on Dixie Dental instead. I can hit save. I can add one to this day. Basically just gives me the same form, Dixie Dental, blah, blah, blah. Hit save, and that gets added there. I can merge entries, so if I hold this, I can drag it over, and then this will merge these two entries. I can also do that using the edit button. If I wanted to merge like 3 at a time, I could merge all of those together by hitting merge now. And that just picks the first one to merge it into. Since the projects were different, it just picks the first one. You can also delete the same way, so I can select that one. Now I just want to delete. And my daily total is always updating based on the entries that I have for that day. So now I'll demonstrate this. So my timer's at 1 minute. Let's say I want to clock what I've been doing for the last 1 minute. So for the last 1 minute, I was working on the 4H app and doing stuff. And if I hit save, it logged that minute and it reset the timer. So the timer gets reset every single time, but it doesn't ever stop. So from the moment I clock in to the moment I clock out, that time is being accounted for. And I can delete entries from here. That removes it from there. I also added a report screen so I can see how much time I've clocked for the week. So today I'm at 0 hours, and for the week I'm at 20. So if I go back and let's say I want to add one for today, 205, project, Dixie Dental, just save. Now if I go to reports, now I've got 2.09 hours for today. And you can also manage your clients from here. So I've added 2 clients. You can add as many clients as you want. Test client, save, and that creates another client. And every client by default has a project. So I created a client, and now I have a default project for that client, and you can rename these and create new projects. And all the projects and clients that you create, you can set the entries on. So, and the other thing is you can move entries. So an entry is set on a date, and I can set the date using that same calendar picker. I can say, oh no, this actually needed to happen on the 31st, and hit save. And now it just got moved to, I think that was March 31st, and there it is. So yeah, that's it. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show was the Apple Watch. So I have to stop this. So the Apple Watch will basically, I was just kind of playing around with WatchKit a little bit. So the watch will always just show my current timer, and then I will get the same notifications on the watch to clock in and clock out, and that's basically all it does. It shows my running timer, and then I have the option to clock out, which will automatically clock me out, goes right across to the phone, and then they both just stay in sync, so I can clock in on the watch, and then that clocks me in here, or I can clock out on the phone, and that clocks me out. So those are always in sync, and that's basically all the Apple Watch does, besides the notification that I get on the watch too. Just keeps track of the timer. So yeah, that's basically it.